Hey guys, Adam here, Vintage Sanctuary. Content warning, I will not be showing any cards in this video, but I have made it to Atlantic City. So the goal of this video is to just kind of talk about what's been going on. So I got up at 3:20 a.m. this morning on the West Coast. So I did not get that much sleep last night. And plus, I didn't get much the night before that because I was so excited about the National. I caught my 5:30 a.m. flight, took a 4-hour flight to Chicago, and then I had a 2-hour layover, which was delayed by maybe another 20 minutes or so. And then I took from Chicago a 2-hour flight to Philadelphia. And at Philadelphia, I'm looking for hotel shuttles from the Philadelphia airport to the Atlantic City hotels because I had called Bally's Hotel where I'm staying in Atlantic City. And they said, yeah, there's shuttles from the airport. And I said, from the Philadelphia airport all the way to Atlantic City, which is over an hour drive. And they said, oh, yeah. They go to all the casino hotels. I'm like, wow, that's great. I'm surprised. But I thought, well, they're bringing the business to them, the people that will spend all this money in their casinos in many cases. So it makes good business sense. Well, guess what? When I got to the Philadelphia airport, I found out from multiple sources, there are no such shuttles all the way to Atlantic City. So I took a train into Philadelphia, and then I had 8 minutes to catch a bus. And so I was trying to catch, I think it was bus 515, if I recall. So I get to the bus stop. There's no bus 515. And I'm like, oh, I don't even know what to do now. I mean, I don't want to spend, I guess an Uber was like $300. That's what I heard. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to spend 300 or even 200, to get from Philadelphia to Atlantic City, which is like over an hour drive, but, by car. So anyway, there was a senior citizen lady there. She was super helpful. She said, the bus used to start from the Greyhound terminal, but Greyhound didn't let them do that anymore. So now it uses the city bus stops, but there's no signage. There's no way to know this bus even exists. I mean, it's in the bus schedule, but there's no signage on the street or anything. So there's no way you can know. And she said, oh, also, by the way, it almost never comes on time. Not only that, it'll come early. If it'll come early and leave early. She said the only thing you can guarantee is it'll come sometime between when it's supposed to and when the next one's supposed to, or before or after, I guess. So she's like, just don't expect it to be on time. So I'm like, okay, awesome. You've been super helpful. Thank you. So got the bus, and that was like an hour and a half because I had to make some stops from Philadelphia to Atlantic City. And then when I got to Atlantic City, I still had to walk a few tenths, like 3/10 of a mile to the hotel. And it looked, a little bit shady to me, but I'm not used to downtown areas. So, and I had heard some mixed reviews and some people saying, be careful in Atlantic City. So anyway, there happened to be a police officer out. So I said, hey, is it safe around here? He said, no. He said, day's fine, but not at night. And I'm like, well, okay, I'm staying at Bally's Hotel. I'm going to the National at the Convention Center. Like, I'll be out at night too. There's events in the day, events at night. So, what do you recommend? And he's like, stay on Michigan Avenue, which connects Bally's to the Convention Center. So I'm like, okay, thank you very much. Anyway, so I get to the hotel. There's a kiosk, so you can just check in, at the kiosk. So I try doing that, and it says, thank you, Adam. Go up to the counter. I'm like, well, okay, this kiosk doesn't do anything, I guess. It just tells me to go to the counter. So I wait in line for a while, and it's been a long day, 5:30 a.m. until, at this point, it's, I don't know, maybe it's even close to 9 p.m. But of course, that's 3 hours later than West Coast time because of the time difference. And so I get up at the counter, and after waiting for a while, and I say, hey, do you have any rooms with a view? And he's like, well, let's see. You had 2 queen beds. Could you do just 1 king? I'm like, yeah, either one's fine. So him and another guy worked in it for like 15 minutes, which I really appreciated. And then they gave me this room. You look out one window, and there's this parking structure like wall, big wall, about 10 feet out. And the other window, you're looking into the parking structure. And so I'm thinking, okay, did you spend 15 minutes finding me the room with the worst view? Did you think I wanted a room that just absolutely did not have a view? But that doesn't matter because it looks like it's going to be a quiet room, though. It's kind of, oh, it's also room 671, and it was not with the other 670s. It was kind of off in this, little tiny hallway by itself, so it was hard to find, but it's kind of sort of remote, so, and I'm not going to spend much time in my room anyway. So I am here. Tomorrow morning, I'll probably walk around. I think they have a boardwalk, walk around on the ocean front there some. And then in the afternoon, obviously I'll go to the National. I hope to connect with a bunch of YouTubers. Hope to see some there tomorrow. I'm sure I will. By the way, it's easy to pick out collectors, as I've seen people in the hotel, or even like one guy that was about where I was in line to board the plane. I can just pick them out. Are you going to the National? And they are, which either means I'm really good at picking them out, or it's pretty obvious who collects. Either that, or just everybody's going to the National that's heading this way. The one guy's a dealer that I met, and he was waiting in line to get on the same plane as I was from Chicago to Philadelphia, and he's showing me this, I think it's a Justin Herbert Panini 1 of 1 out of 5. I think he had a couple of them, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 25, that were like $15,000 cards or something. And I'm not into modern cards, so, I'm looking at it and thinking, yeah, I don't know what this is worth, Maybe it's worth a couple grand, but in my mind, it ought to be worth a couple hundred. But I guess it's more like 15 or more grand. But hey, if I had 15 grand, I would buy something else. But, more power to those who like that sort of thing. I'm stoked, I am stoked to see what kind of cards are out there on the show floor tomorrow. And I'm also stoked to meet some people in person. Thank you for listening to my thoughts about my day. And I did not show any cards, but nonetheless, I hope you had a wonderful and peaceful time in the Vintage Sanctuary. Also, I don't have my simple video editing approach while I'm here, so this is just going to be uploaded as is. Take care, my fellow collectors.